Good afternoon, everyone, everybody. My name is Durwood Everett. I was born March the 4th, 1952, in Jackson, North Carolina, Northampton County. At present, I'm 69 years old. I remember I was born in the Island Chapel area. And I'm a member of Island Chapel Human Church here since can remember, a little boy. My mother and father name were Prairie Jack, father was Prairie Jack Everett. My mother maiden name was Louise Boone Everett. My granddaddy was James L. Everett. My grandmother on my mother's side was Sally Ann Boone, and my granddad on my mother's side was Roland Boone. And my granddad on my father's side was James L. Everett, and he was married twice. His first wife was Nettie Powell Everett, and his second wife was Blanche L. Everett. She rode around in I think, the Red Square area. I heard him say she died when I was a little boy. And his first wife died. I don't remember seeing her in person. She died before I was born. Uh, I remember I had several incidents, a near life experience ever since I can remember a little boy, about 8 years old. My first experience with, I remember I had we call diphtheria, sore throat. I went a long time without going to the doctor. And when I did go, that's when the doctor said it started from a sore throat. He said if I went one more day, I would probably been dead. And I come find out I had diphtheria. And my next, I can remember life experience, all that, which sometime probably after that, I remember my two brothers were sawing down the lawn then. In them days, you had a saw, one of them saw that you used by the hand, a handsaw. And they were sawing a tree down. And they kept on telling me to move, and I've stayed in the way the tree hit me. And you probably heard someone say, "Well, I saw stars," but that's where I saw my first stars when that tree hit me inside the head. And I had several more experiences. Another one I can remember. Matter of fact, that might have been a little bit before this one here. Could have been in 1958, 59. I was climbing up a tree, old pine tree, me and my brother. We always been out in the woods in them days, playing in the woods and stuff. And I climbed up an old rotten pine tree, and the limb broke with me, and I feel me falling right down on a near a stump, probably about, I don't know, 12 feet, 12, not 12 feet, 12 inches from my stump on my back. I didn't hit the stump, but I fell beside of and out of breath. And I don't think I remember then. And I was running to the house. I had my mama. We were probably, I guess, about 200 feet from the house we stayed in. And I remember running till I would leave from where they were running out. Couldn't get no breath. And I was going on my knees. And I remember just a spirit where something hit me from the back of my hand. I assumed that it might have been my older brother that was out there at the time. I guess I'm assuming that he could have been about 13 or 14 years old then. And what's so strange about that, I don't, it's kind of puzzle for me because I don't believe that he would have had at that age that much sense knowing that the way I was doing, walking out of breath, to hit me up in the back like that. I didn't see who did it, but on there I felt a hand hit me in my back, then my breath came back. So I'm assuming that with the hand of the Lord just hit me in my back and knocked the breath back into me. And I went on to the house. Never did look back. I just kept going. And I had several near death experiences in my life. I remember just kind of just miracle like in a way. I remember one time, probably in the city somewhere, I was driving and I was getting back to it was two old ladies were getting out and face the old tower. Two ladies were getting out of the car and they were getting out real slow and I probably won't drive them about 45, 50. And I see where they got up on them. and I hit the brake. I hit the brake and get right to pass on the left hand side. So I went hit the car in the back. But what ended up happening when I hit my brake, it kind of like ski like, and the car was pulling to the right. Where then, your car ain't in good shape. That's what ended up happening to me. So after I see the car pulling to the right, and you know, I kind of went on and turned to the right. And I just remember I crossed the ditch and come out. It was another driveway up to today now. I remember a bump going across the ditch, but coming back in the road, I don't know what happened there. I don't remember hitting the bump. I don't know whether it was another driveway or what, but all that happened so fast. And I just missed those two old ladies. Didn't hit them. Just man, that was another near experience for me. Because I hit those ladies, and maybe I could have killed them for like that. I could have been in prison somewhere right now. Yeah. Anyway, and it's just several things that I did, and I know the Lord probably just had maybe something for me to to do all the near experience miracle things that happened to me as a young man. And most of when I realized that the Lord would kind of had something to do when my mother died, I guess when I was about 20, in the 20s, early 20s. And I remember mother used to fuss me all the time about, oh, you need to go to church, you need to read the Bible. You're not even a teenager. You get out of, you get, God said, get grown, you won't have a tendency to do what you want to do. So I remember one day, I don't know how long it was, but my mother could have been dead 6 months or more. And I was there by myself. I mean, my mother used to stay together by ourselves. But then in the end, and I remember I prayed to the Lord to send me somebody. It just blessed me with a nice woman. They didn't even had no idea about a church woman like that. Just wanted a nice woman, a wife. Because where I've lived my life, then I didn't have no power. I had friends, but it's just somebody that I wouldn't really want as a married partner. And then I remember, I guess about maybe I'm saying about 2 months. One of my cousins was in the military. He came home and he told me to come on ride him to the hospital in North Carolina. He would talk to this lady. He said she had some friends that he wanted me to meet. So what we did, we went about 3 houses. And to the third house, all the other houses went to the, he would call when he go to the house, but I think we called 2 houses and wasn't nobody answered the phone. The third house, we went to the house. And that's when I met my first wife. And just when I met her, my wife, Beulah Williams. And I never forget, she was working in Rosa. Then just look as I walked into the house, I could see the expression on her face. It was just some strange. I never had a person to look at me like that before. And I always kind of always said been a person that didn't have confidence in themselves. I was a kind of, as I look at some of the pictures now, I was a handsome dude, but I didn't really have maybe that much confidence in myself. And I feel like I just didn't know how to talk, you know, to really say things to women, like, especially like when I was young. I guess women didn't want to hear the stuff that, what I had to say then. But when I got older, like more mature, and then around mature women, it's like it was easy to talk to them because mature women, whether young or old, you could talk to them better. If you're serious, you can talk to them better than you can immature women. So that's where that were to me. So as I started talking to her, she gave me my phone number. That shocked me. And because that seemed like it was easy. I said, okay, that me what she gonna give me my phone number for. And she was looking good and that's good and neat. And I was saying that woman that good, I ain't that looking up to me the woman dressed like that. Although that would been the type of woman that every man would dream of, like dressed like a movie star. And she just got out of work. And she was just like she can't go to church. But anyway, then I went still kind of shy like a little bit. I guess I went about 2 or 3 weeks. Normally, I guess the man you should call the woman first. I didn't ever call her because I thought she was just being nice, giving me the phone number. So finally, she called me and said, "Where you at? I haven't heard from you." And then right then and there, I don't know, just some then that gave me confidence. This lady take time out, just called me, and I didn't call her. She must be in something in me. She must see. So that's where it started out. That's when I met my first wife, Beulah William. And that's where we were. And it went on. And so finally one day she was staying over there in Union, over there in the Hoskin, near Hoskin. She was staying in a double wide trailer. She rented about alone. And I never forget one time I was driving London. I think we were working about, I working at Georgia City, but we were working short days a week or thing. We kind of a little slow London. And I went to Norfolk every now and then. I used to go to Norfolk, see my brother and sister. So this particular weekend, I guess I've been going her then. I don't know. I guess about 6 months we've just seen each other's friends. And and she, go back a little bit because I never forget one time when I met her. I call it fall in love with her, like her ways and style, everything. She never told me she was a church going lady, so I'm just going back a little bit right there, and then I'm coming back to this point. And I asked her when I was on the long weekend. I said, "I'm coming over your house." I think I told her that Sunday or something like that. She said, "You ain't gonna see me," something like that. She said. I said, "Wow." I thought she was just getting right to tell me she didn't want to see me no more. She said, "Because I'm being church." So that's how I ended up. I wasn't going to church then, probably about once a year to a funeral or something at chapel. That's when I ended up got back in church then. When I started, I didn't fall in love with her, and that's how I ended up gave my life to Christ and got back in church. I was going with her. Then what we did then, that when we started, she would go to me. Anyway, so let me leave that alone right there. Now let me go back to the part where she's in the double wide trailer now. She was she was struggling trying to pay bill by herself. She working all, you know. She was saying that told me early on that people might wanted to her to move out trailer so that some of the kinfolk some move in. I remember she telling me something like that about 2 or 3 months before that. But anyway, this particular time weekend, I said, "Look, don't do like me and her is going and we're going." I'd already real quick. I knew she was the woman I want. I'd already asked her. She never said that she won't or nothing like that. She always said that she never was quick to speak on things like that. Only thing she said, I think I'm going to go back to New York. That's where she was from. Because her aunt, somebody, I think, raised her in New York up to about 12 years old. She said something like that. She said she was going back to New York, New Jersey, whichever one. But anyway, so finally that weekend when I saw that looked like our relationship was moving that phase, I said, I went to Norfolk. I said, when I come back from Norfolk, I came through 13 way in the hospital, come back from Norfolk. Anyway, we were doing, I don't know what month, we were probably March, April one. But anyway, I knew around about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. It was just getting ready to get dark. And when I got there, she was sitting in the door on a little chair or bench or something, and her flowers, everything. She had her best friend that already moved, just how fast everything happened. Her best friend had already moved, took some of her favorite plants and moved them out. And that's when she told me that she had, I think she had another a week or something. She had did just how fast 2 weeks something that she had to get her stuff out of there. She had to move. So what I asked her to do then, this how what you call love, and then you see the relationship going for the world. I just went out on Facebook and told her, look, I know she was a church woman. I know it wouldn't have looked right if we just moved in and shacked up. So what I told her, and I really meant it. I probably wouldn't be able to did it, but that's what I really meant. I told her, look, I would finance another trailer and put another trailer, down there and let her move in it. And then, then the other option, I said, then maybe we could get married or something like that. Because that means that she had to move out real fast. But what she ended up doing, and when I used to go to the house on then, I had a black and white TV. I hadn't really, definitely in this 70s, in probably late 19, it's about 78 or something like that. I had a black and white TV. See, I had never, thing was kind of a little slow for me, a little tight for me too. And when I used to go there, she had nice furniture, everything, color TV, pretty color TV, picture, everything on. And in the back of my mind, I always said in the back of my mind, I would just like to have that. But anyway, this way didn't happen. So when she found out she had to move, she said, look, will you, I'm going back and stay with my mom for a while. And will you keep, until I find somewhere to go, will you keep my furnace and my television over there? She had nice furnace. And I thought I was King in brand new furniture. Since my mom died, I hadn't bought nothing new, TV or furniture, nothing like that. I just had the old stuff I had. So what I did, I moved her furniture, everything in, and I felt like as Martin Luther King, I felt like I read the mountaintop then. And the Lord had blessed me, all that stuff. So that's when I asked her. Then we just got engaged from there, and I think this, I am sure, I think this was in March, something like that. And I think we got engaged to get married sometime by April. But anyway, it was about a 6 month engagement thing that we did because we had been going together a year be, before the engagement. So that ended up made everything come out about right. I knew her real good. I knew what I wanted. I don't know if I guess the Lord showed her what she wanted because I used to hear her preach sometimes. She said the Lord said to her that this was the man, I was the man. So I guess she saw something in me like I saw something in her. But anyway, that's why I ended up, we got together because I knew it was a miracle. It was the Lord in it because she was intending, she never really told me, yeah, we'll get married. Just I did that incident happened that she getting evicted. She didn't have anywhere to go to. And you know how most people, they leave home with a parent as an adult, they don't want to really go back. You know, it's kind of hard to go back to live with your parents. And she had kind of already told me that she didn't really want to go back home. And that's how the Lord, I feel like this is how the Lord opened us up. And I never forget this pretty song that I used to listen to radio sometimes. And every time I go to her house, what made it feel so good when I approached her house, the atmosphere, she always played gospel music. And the show that used to come on was called Little Walk. I never heard that station before until I started going over her house. And every time I walk in the house, it just felt like, I don't know, just felt like, I don't know where I were, but all like holy ground. I didn't know exactly what you meant at that time what holy ground were, but as I look back at it now, you just that atmosphere when I went in there, she always had that station on that gospel. They played gospel music, and that's what she had every time I go in. And I used to visit her. I don't care what day, what week, she always be playing that radio station, listen to that gospel station, and that's where we were. And but anyway, so then we got married, uh, and I think we were married about 3 years before we had two twin boys, Charles and Christopher Edwards. And she always said that they were going to be chosen. And when she got ready to do their name, she asked me. She asked me first. She picked the name out of the book. She picked the name out, and both of them name. It had something that, it was spiritual like name, God like a Christ like. Anyway, it kind of names that were in the Bible had a thought or something like that. And she always said that Chris would probably be the one that uh, both of them had that minister Brooke Daly and Chris used to be the one that come home and used to get on the mic. I suppose we used to go to the church over there, Lewis, our aunt church. And at that time, the church was St. Luke Pentecostal Holy Church over there in Lewiston. And sometimes we used to go to Chapel AME Church in Jackson. And then we used to go over there to her church because they used to start later. We used to go to St. Luke over there in Lewis. And over there, they used to have the guitars and the drums and stuff. You know, praise the Lord and Chris and Chuck. Chris, anyway, both of them just come home. They'll get the mic. Chris used to get the mic and pretend he was preaching. And that's when she used to say then that Chris would probably end up be a minister. And Charles, I never forget Charles incident one time. He was young. I don't know exactly how we were about that. Now, something like that, teen. Could have been a little older. And I know I remember I asked one time, as I used to video this stuff too. I never asked one time, he was about 2 or 3 years old, couldn't even hard talk good, and asked what he wanted for Christmas. And I'm assuming he made this because of the Lewis experience. Asked what he wanted for Christmas. He said he about 2 or 3 years old, just good, barely talk. He said he wanted a bass guitar. And when I thought that this guy used to work on the job at Georgia Pacific, he used to know how to play the bass. And somehow we got on the study one day, and he said he could teach my boy music, how to play the guitar. So what he did when I called him, got him to come out there, he didn't get Charles about 2 or 3 lessons. When he told him to come out there, Charles, I had a keyboard too. I had all of it. Charles wanted to learn the bass guitar, and Chris, I couldn't get Chris to learn the keyboard nothing. Every time that fella come back, Chris always be running around doing something else. And he wasn't interested. But end up, that's where that happened on the base. So what it was when we got the pastor at our church, in Monroe, Gregory Jones, we got the first in our chapel here in church. We got our first drums in the church, and that's when Charles hadn't got the bass guitar then, but we got the first drum in church, and the pastor asked anybody that wanted to they can play the drum. So everybody just sit back, because we never had drums in church before. So what it was, Chris went up there and tried to play them. First time he did, and I never forget one time, Charles, he asked somebody again. They hadn't choose nobody to do it. It just the idea, the Lord just let it, the pastor just get somebody just get drums in the church, and they didn't have nobody. They just feel like some of the young people can learn it. So I never forget one time they told the pastor called some of the guys, young people to come up there and play the drums. Nobody wouldn't go, so finally Child went up this particular day. I never forget it. It was just like yesterday. Child got up there and beat them drum 2 times. He dropped the head. He couldn't do it. So that's when Chris then, that's where he come at. He was a drum player. Then as time went on, they joined, Charlie and Chris joined the male chorus, and both of them in the male chorus singing. Then Charles later on learned how to play the bass. He used to play the bass for him. And then Chris come with playing the drums in church. So that's how it started with Charles and Chris. And I like to go back a little bit. I never forget everything that they went and did in high school. I take notice that I didn't ever do it. Somehow, to see a football player and baseball at school, I played it at home. But being at school, all the proper thing that that everybody wanted to do, and I probably didn't have the grades to do it. For some reason, I wouldn't go out for it. Everything that I really wanted, material, uh, I mean, things like that I wanted to do in high school, like that, worldly thing, they did it and they made a success at it. Both of them played football in high school. Both of them played football in college, and so I just thank the Lord, and I feel like, and now where anyway this year, and they're grown now on their own now, so I feel like right now go back to when they were small, 3 years old, something like that. I never get my wife. She first found out she had cancer, and she asked me. We were just talking one night. She won't really even that feeling results, or if she didn't knew she been diagnosed of it. She just asked me, said, "What would I do if with just Chris and Charles if something happened to her?" And the only thing I remember telling her then, I felt better and looked like it felt her about that I would continue to bring them the way that she started them out. And she looked like she got a sense of relief just by me telling her that. So I'm getting ready to sign off now. So what I would like to say now, there's a song the lady used to sing, a pretty song, but the words in like the Lord, I came to do what you told me to do. Something like that. Some words in like this slow song. And I wish I knew the name of that song. It's a pretty song, so I can put it up again. And so right now, Chris and Charles are doing good. They're on their own. And right now, Charles got a daughter. Her name's Shania, and she's 11 years old. And Chris got 2 twins, uh, Abigail and Gabrielle. And right now, they're 4 years old. And so this just the story of me, dear whatever. And I know I missed out some key points, but if I had to write a book right now, I feel like it would be a bestseller if I can just get rid out. Somebody just tell, if I could just tell my story. Well, anyway, I'm just a proud young man. And when I heard it a long time ago, I tell people all the time, it's in a joke way. I didn't been to the mountaintop, and I'm happy. I stay alone, and I'm just happy. And I feel like I've been blessed through the years. And I look at it right now, I see so many friends or so many people I know around my age, and they kind of going on, and I feel like, you know, I'm just thankful. And so, God bless everyone. And I just like to, I always say I would like to lead my life so that I can be a role model for someone else and let others see the light in me. God bless me. Thank you.